everybody, Lord Tremendous here. Got another battle report here for you. 2200 point battle. It's a Rock Wars GT prep, but it's my first new Wood Elves battle report. Of course, I'm playing against the Wood Elves. God knows I would never play the filthy pointy ears. I don't care what flavor they come in. But it's a 2200 point battle. Lord Tremendous of the Warriors Chaos, that's me, versus Warlock of the Leaves of the Wood Elves. I was really excited about this. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I bought the new book. I took a look at it, read through it, and it's really cool to see how they made the elves competitive, what they did to fix them, what they did to change them. I do plan on doing a book review eventually. I've got battle reports to do. I've got real life, things that I have to do prior to all that, but I will get to it eventually. But yeah, anyway, let's just get right into it because I know everybody's excited to see how the new Wood Elves went up against the Warriors Chaos. Here's my list. More of the same. I haven't changed it from that last time when I got Thunder Stomped because, to be perfectly honest, I didn't feel that it was a fair assessment of this list, and I wanted to try it again before I decided to tweak it. I still have my Sorcerer Lord, Lord Tremendous. He's still got the Mark Zinch, level 4 Wizard, Disc of Zinch, Enchanted Shield, Staff of Sorcery, Talisman of Preservation, Flaming Breath, Third Eye Zinch, and Laura Zinch. My heroes are my Exalted Hero, Lady Elizabeth, with the Mark of Zinch, Chaos Steed, BSB, Halberd, Helm of Many Eyes, Dawnstone, and Poisonous Slime. And my Chaos Sorcerer, Ashkus the Muse, with the Mark of Slaanesh, level 1 Wizard, Steed of Slaanesh, Charm Shield, Skullikatam, Seed of Rebirth, with the Laura Slaanesh. My core choices are 5 Warhounds, the Manipulative Mutts, 18 Chaos Warriors, Blood Tide, with Mark Khorne, Halberds, Full Command, and Banner Rage, and 15 Forsaken, with the Mark of Khorne. My special choices are 5 Chaos Knights, Lizardess Honor Guard, with Mark Zinch and Sorcelled Weapons, Banner Musician, and the Standard of Discipline, and 5 Hellstriders with Spears, Shields, Banner Musician. And of course, the thing I can't leave without, the Mutalith Vortex. Gotta love the beast. My opponent's list I did not post because due to closed lists at the Rock Wars GT, he didn't want me to throw it up there. He was still tweaking it. I mean, this was literally a paper and pencil list that he put together. So he didn't want me to throw it up there. I don't have a problem with that. I didn't get any pictures of it, so no list. Sorry, that's going to happen with the Rock Wars ones. They're doing a closed list thing, and while I don't care what people have in mind, some of my buddies don't want it up there, and that's perfectly acceptable. Here are my spells, 4 from Zinch and 1 from Slaanesh. And here are my opponent's spells. He went with the Lore of High Magic, and he's got those 3, and that's about it. Here's deployment. As you can see, it's pretty straightforward. My Mutalith was going to try to deal with the Wild Riders that are over there on my left flank. My Sorcerer and my Chaos Warriors were going to go up the middle there and try to deal with his Rangers and his Archers that are across the way there from them. Meanwhile, the rest of my center there with the Dogs, the Forsaken, and the Knights, they were going to charge up and they were just going to get into the meat of his army as quick as possible. And the Hellstriders were going to run around. I didn't really know where I was going to send those guys yet. With Always Strikes First, with Elves, no War Machines, no real chaff to speak of, it occurs to me that the Hellstriders might not work in a 2200 point list the way I like to play. So I put them over there on the flank, and I was just hoping against hope that I would figure something else out to do with them. And, well, you'll see how well that goes. Here's the right flank, my opponent's right flank. From left to right, there are his Wild Riders, unit of 5 of them. The White Lions represent his Rangers, because he doesn't have those models yet. He's got 4 Treekin right next to them. And here's his center. From left to right, there's a unit of Archers with the Hagbane arrows, the poison ones, and I believe his BSB is in there. He's got a Treeman, just a regular, not the lore choice, just a regular Treeman. Right next to them in the forest are a unit of, what are they called? Eternal Guard, with his level 3 Sorcerer in there. And next to them is a unit of Dryads. And yeah, that's just a big old unit of sexy Dryads. This is my right flank, which consists of 5 Hellstriders and Ashkus, and they don't have a clue what they're going to do. I just didn't know. I put them in the list because there's soft choices at Rock Wars, and the more soft choices you take, the more bonus points you get. I took the Hellstriders thinking that, yeah, I've used them before, but at 2,200 points, I don't have enough to really deck out Ashkis like you need to in order to make that unit viable, or at least the way I play it. So I was kind of at a loss. It occurs to me, maybe I shouldn't take these guys. But, well, I decided to roll with it because it was too late to change it now. Here's my center. From right to left, there's my unit of 15 Forsaken. Next to them is a unit of 5 dogs. Behind them is Lady Elizabeth with her knights. Next to them is the 18 Chaos Warriors of Khorne. And there's my Sorcerer Lord on a disc, Lord Tremendous. And here's the left flank with the Beast, and he's just there. I honestly had every intention in the world of having him either charge the Wild Riders that got way too close, or hit him with their spell, or with his spell, and try to decimate them the best he could. Maybe even get them to flee. They're frenzied, so that was a terrible choice, but I forgot about that because I'm dumb. So, with all that said and done, we go to top of 1, and I didn't go first. My opponent did, and he sends his Wild Riders on my left flank right up to the flank of my Sorcerer, which it was very confusing to me because I saw them as fast cav. I really didn't remember what Wild Riders did. I knew they're fluff. I know they run around with Orion once a year. I thought they were cool, but I'm thinking they're fast cav. I'm thinking that they've got, special -3 to your armor save bows or something like that. Had no idea for why he would bring him around like that, other than just, hey, he was testing out his new army. Meanwhile, his Dryads come up a little bit, and his Rangers and Treekin run up a bit, and they stay in the forest. He had the what's it called? The Acorn, the 100-point Acorn on his Spellweaver, and so he was able to deploy D3 Citadel Force, and he gets one more. So he had his one that he placed right there in his center, and the other one that it deviated slightly, and it's where his Rangers and Treekin are sitting right now. Both of those forests are the Venomous Forests, so they have poison attacks. And if anybody goes into that forest, they have to take dangerous terrain. He doesn't have to worry about that, however, because what elves have forest striders? So don't worry about any of that, which I thought was amazing. Like, GW really thought that went through. They are devastatingly tough in the forest. So if I send my warriors in there, I'm taking dangerous terrain checks for 18 models potentially. If they all make it in. But it's something else. It's definitely something else. Nothing happens in his magic phase. I'm able to stop it, but in his shooting phase, he takes careful aim with his archers at my Forsaken and fires. And with those Hagbane arrows or whatever, that upgrade you can get, it makes the elves a lot more expensive, but their shooting is devastating. And 4 Forsaken died just one volley of shooting. It was something else. I'm not gonna lie to you. Nothing else happens there, so we go to bottom 1 after movement, and as you can see, my Sorcerer Lord didn't want to be charged in the flank by the Wild Riders. I figured there's no way he's going to charge my Chaos Warriors, because who charges Chaos Warriors in the flank with fast cav, right? I really didn't realize what I was getting. Staying true to the form, the Beast turns to try to get his spell off on the Wild Riders to try to decimate them. The dogs move up because I was hoping that his Dryads would charge my dogs, hit them, overrun. The way I had the dogs positioned, you would need a 10, 11, or 12 to hit the Chaos Warriors. So I thought I was in beautiful position. The Dryads hit, they hit the dogs, he overruns, and then he fails, and either my Knights or my Forsaken go into the Dryads, eat their lunch, and it's a beautiful thing. So that's why I set it up like that. Meanwhile, my Hellstriders ran up the side to possibly get Ashkis' spell off, which I believe was Lashless Lanesh, which works pretty good against elves. Other than that, I was toying with the idea of charging him into the rear of the Dryads. I really didn't know what I was going to do with those guys. I did want to send him into the forest because taking dangerous terrain for me is always been a night killer. So they were just, I was feigning with them. I got to be honest, it was a bluff. It was just a huge bluff. Oh, I do, actually, my Forsaken did try to charge the Dryads because they're movement 6. I think they needed like a 8 or something, and I rolled very low. I rolled very poorly. But I think that's because they failed their Frenzy check, even with the reroll. I'm not 100% on that, but I know they charged there and failed, which, not a terrible thing. during the Magic phase. At the last second, I changed my mind about going after the Wild Riders because I just didn't see them as a threat. The way he was looking, the way my opponent was looking at his Wild Riders and then looking at my Chaos Warriors, I thought it was a little ridiculous. I was like, fine, charge into the Chaos Warriors. They're just going to eat your lunch. What are they, strength 4? What's the big deal? Yeah. I know. We'll get to it. But the Beast instead targets the Rangers, the new Wood Elf great weapon choice, because I saw them as a threat. I thought I had something to worry about there. So my Mulith gets his spell off on them. It goes off. They now have stupidity for the rest of the game. And I think they lose like 4 or 5 models to toughness checks, which was really cool. Yeah, as you can see, I think they lose 4 models. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 of the Rangers die, and now they're stupid for the rest of the game. So I was really happy about that. So we go to top of 2 after movement, and as you can see, it kind of is happening the way I kind of figured it would. His Treekins start moving towards the Beast. His Dryads charge the dogs and make it, which was all part of the plan. They still need a 10 to hit me on the overrun, which I was perfectly fine with, because then the Knights and the Forsaken, or the Forsaken, I guess, have a beautiful flank charge on the Dryads, which will take them out, allow me to overrun possibly into the Rangers, possibly into the Archers. It really all kind of depended. And then his Wild Rider slammed into the Khorne Warriors, and I just couldn't figure that one out. I did not realize what... Now, this is completely stupid on my part. I should have realized that my opponent's not a fool at all. He's not a bad player. I thought he was making a mistake, and so I didn't care, but I should have realized that this guy doesn't make mistakes like that, and that whatever he just threw into the flank of this unit is probably going to devastate me in some way, shape, or form. So... that being said, I believe his Eternal Guard with his level 3 turned to face the Hellstriders because they started getting a little nervous, and his Rangers kind of shimmy over a little bit for whatever reason. Other than that was pretty much for his movement. There's a better picture of his Dryad slamming into my dogs, and like I said, they were bait. That was the idea. And there's a better picture of the Wild Rider slamming into my Khorne Warriors. And again, I still don't realize the ass whooping I'm about to receive. During his Magic phase, he gets Soul Quench off on my Hellstriders and kills 4 of them. Yeah, that just sucked. I think I tried to stop it. No, it was Irresistible Force. Because, yeah, right here, he Irresistible Forces it and rolls up Miscast 3, which I was actually very happy about. Yeah, probably a dick move to be happy about my opponent rolling a miscast, but anytime I see elves getting ready to blow themselves up, I get very excited. It's tingly. It's just tingly. But yeah, there's the big old plate right on top of her head, and it clips the it clips the Treeman, and it takes, it hits a whole bunch of the Eternal Guard, and it's all exciting, and... squish, half the unit vaporizes. She does make her roll and doesn't go into the warp, which is unfortunate, but half the unit's dead now. I think even the tree man took a wound, or no, I think actually the tree man took a wound, but he made his 6-up ward because they have that 6-up, spirit force thingy now, and he makes his ward save. But yeah, so many of those guys died. It felt good. They make their panic check and everything, and his magic phase pretty much ends. In the shooting phase, nothing really interesting occurs, so we go into combat, and as you can see, the Dryads just pulverize the dogs, and we all knew that was going to happen. It wasn't a big deal. Of course, he overruns because it was just far enough away that he's like, why not? Let's see what happens. Yeah, anybody want to guess what happened? The son of an elf rolls a 10 and makes it into my Khorne Warriors. I could not believe it. If you look close in this picture, you can actually see my morale shatter. He took the spirit right out of me right here. I was devastated. Embarrassed, just the best laid plans, and he saw what I was doing, and he took the bait, and then he capitalized on it. I mean, yeah, it was a gamble, but it was a gamble so in my favor. I understand how casino owners feel when somebody hits those $1 million jackpots, like multiple ones in the same night or something. I couldn't believe it, but you know what? well done on my opponent. I'd love to be mad at him about it, but you know what? I'd have done the same thing. So, so yeah, there's this combat. So we go to this one, and I find out that Wild Riders are no joke. How little of a joke are they, you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked, because look at the amount of damage that was caused in this battle. Oh my god, Khorne literally had a cigarette after this battle. That's how good it was. I end up losing, what, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11 Khorne warriors to this battle. I end up killing one of the Wild Riders because I've just out. I do a ton of wounds to the Dryads. I was very proud of the Khorne warriors. They actually, the only reason, you know, that I did as well as I did was because the Khorne warriors were able to obliterate multiple Dryads. But those Wild Riders have one attack base, devastating charge, and they're frenzied. So a little unit, like a 160 point unit of Wild Riders, have 15 strength, 5 armor piercing attacks on the charge. That's insane. Couple with that, weapon skill 4 or 5, and then always strikes first. Fast calves, so unless they go first or they go at the top of round 1, they can charge at the bottom of round 1 and be in beautiful position and seriously damage anything that doesn't also have always strike first or, you know, initiative 5 or less. These guys are amazing. And you know what? I gotta be honest with you, come to think of it, I don't believe he attacked with his stags, with the steeds that they're on. I think he forgot because he just had so many attacks from the riders. Then, of course, there's the Dryads come in with hatred and everything like that. But the Dryads are only strength 3 now, which I thought was interesting. And I actually made most to all of my armor saves from when the Dryads got a hold of me and stuff. So that was pretty cool. But this battle was way bloodier than I expected it to be. Just immensely bloodier than I expected it to be. And yeah, luckily, thanks to the reroll, I actually do make my break check and stick it out. But oh my god, Wild Riders, they are no joke. So we go to bottom of 2 after movement, and it turns out my knights, I killed just enough Dryads that my knights could not see the Dryads anymore due to where they were positioned. So they just kind of trundled forward and went, I think they might have tried to charge the Rangers and failed. Meanwhile, the Forsaken come up, and they're just going to go after the Eternal Guard because why not, right? And my Beast backs off because I was going to charge him into the rear of the Wild Riders, but I was worried about not breaking him or not making the charge and then being flanked by Treekins. So I should have probably thrown him in. Hindsight's 2020. Oh well. So the Beast backs up to harass the Treekin a little bit. The Sorcerer Lord runs up to finish off the Rangers, maybe the Archers, maybe the Treekin, whatever I felt like targeting. But it wasn't meant to be. Anyway, my magic phase, I end up rolling Snake Eyes. My opponent ends up channeling, so it's 2-2. I throw like a 3 with a spell, and it doesn't go off. So magic phase was a joke, so we go straight into shooting. And as you can see, I flame the Rangers because I've got nothing else to do. I figure, you know, hey, this one's going downhill quick. I might as well. So I did. I fired off my breath weapon on the Rangers, and I hit a decent amount. And I kill a decent amount, but with stupidity, they're immune to psychology, and they don't go anywhere. But I've cored the unit, so they're not nearly as threatening as they were before. We go into combat, and with his Wild Riders and his Dryads, he's able to kill all but the unit champion. I'm able to kill off another couple of the Wild Riders. I don't do anything to the Dryads, I don't think. No, I don't do anything to the Dryads. And I lose this combat by a lot. And I break and get run down, and do not underestimate Wild Riders. They are devastating, literally devastating. Probably one of the coolest fast cav units out there. Very impressed with them, and I promise you I will never make the mistake of underestimating the Wild Riders again. So, with all that heartbreak over, we go to top of 3 after movement, and the Wild Riders run over to kind of look at the back end of my Knights, because I guess they want to see what a real Knight looks like. The Dryads start heading towards the Beast to go after him. Other than that, oh yeah, and the Ancient Tree Man runs up to block the Forsaken charge on the Eternal Guard, which was smart because I was like, well, I don't really have a shot at him now, and nothing was around that could have attacked him. So, what could you do? During his shooting phase, all of his shooting concentrates fire on the Forsaken, and he kills 6 of them, which effectively cores this unit. There's nothing I can do with this unit now against anything that's left. I was just done. And at this point is kind of when I realized this game is just not one for me to win, so now it's about body count. I'm going to kill as many elves as I possibly can before I have to take this hard L. So, speaking of hard L's, we go to bottom of 3 after movement, and I charge. The Forsaken go into Ancient Treeman, make it no problem. The Hellstrider and Ashius charge into the rear of the Eternal Guard and make it. The Knights charge into the Rangers and make it. And the Beast doesn't... I think the Beast moves slightly, and the Sorcerer Lord ran over to attack the Treekin, because why not, right? There's a better picture of my Knights slamming into the Rangers. And there's a better picture of my Forsaken slamming into the Ancient Treeman, because it was either them charge a Treeman or get charged by the Treeman. It really wasn't going to matter. And there's a better picture of Ashkis and the last Hellstrider slamming into the rear of the Eternal Guard. Why? Because I didn't have anything else to do. That's why. During the magic phase, the Beast is trying to cull these weeds, doing a bit of gardening on the Dryads, and he makes them cause fear, which I think they may have already caused, but the ensuing toughness checks kills 3 of them, 2 or 3 of them, which is great. I'll take it. And yeah, 2 more Dryads become compost. They couldn't give a flying F because they're immune to psychology, and, well, not that it was enough. It might have been enough. Anyway, didn't matter. And, yep, that was it for the magic phase. So we go into combat, and my final Hellstrider dies. I think, kill a few of the Eternal Guard, not 100%. I do issue a challenge with Ashikis, and his Sorcerer, or his Spellsinger, level 3 Lord Spellsinger says no, and moves away. I think I end up winning this combat, but they're stubborn and they don't go anywhere. And they turn around the face afterwards as well, as you can see, which means Ashkus is going to die, but you know what? He's going to die like a man, which, you know, Slaanesh doesn't always get to do because they're kind of touchy-feely. Over here in combat, my Knights actually do pretty well, with the exception of Lady Elizabeth getting killed in the challenge against my opponent's Lord. His Lord had the Giant Blade or something. He was strength 7 or 8, something ridiculous. And yeah, he was able to kill Lady Elizabeth in a challenge, no problem. He weathered her attacks with his 4-up ward, and with the Giant Blade or whatever it was, just completely ripped her face off. It was well played by my opponent. Meanwhile, I was able to kill 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of his Rangers. I lost 2 of my Knights. I do end up winning this combat, but they don't break. So, oh well. Speaking of breaking, though, the Forsaken get into combat with the Treeman. They do nothing to him. They did like 3 wounds to him. They got armor piercing, and they did 3 wounds, but he ward saved. He armor saved 1, and he ward saved 2. He rolled boxcars. It was insane. So I do nothing to the Tree Man. He kills every single one of the Forsaken, and then that's it. So we go to top of 4 because things are going well, and things are going so well. The Dryads charge the Beast and make it, needing like an 8, a 7 or an 8. So that was cool. The Tree can charge into the flank of the Knights and make it. The Wild Riders charge into the rear of the Knights and make it. And the Sorcerer Lord just stands there and goes, okay, this is going well. There's been a picture of the Dryad slamming into the Beast. And, well, you'll see how that goes. There's a better picture of the Treeman, the Wild Rider slamming into the Knights. And it's like, oh, so many things are going well this game. Magic is a wash, and shooting doesn't have any real targets. I think he shoots at my Sorcerer Lord and does nothing. So we go into combat, and as you can see, they kill every single one of my Knights before I can so much as unsheath one of my weapons. They're all dead. And to be honest with you, I think it was the Wild Riders that did it. Those guys are amazing. Listen, you know, serious Lord Tremendous time out here. if you're going to play Wood Elves, I cannot recommend highly enough a unit of, at least one unit of 5 Wild Riders. Give them a musician, give them a banner. They top out at about 160 points. These guys will win games for you when you get an opponent that just doesn't know what they are. These things, I don't know what you couldn't charge these things into and do really, really well. I mean, they hit the flank of a Corn Warrior unit and buckled them. Yeah, the Dryads helped, but the Wild Riders did the majority of the damage. It was simply amazing. Simply amazing. And then when they slam into the rear of the Knights, they were able to do enough wounds to him. Just with 2 guys, just with 6 attacks, he was able to kill at least 2 of the Knights, and I think the last one was killed by a Ranger or something like that. I'm not 100%, but just amazing. Just an amazing unit. After my unit dies in combat, my Sorcerer Lord's within 6 inches and panics. And he goes about 9 inches. He almost gets off the table. He tried, but he's got a chance to rally, so that's awesome. And then over here, we've got this combat going on. I think I need to shoot another challenge. She says hell no. I don't take any wounds. I don't lose any wounds. I think I might have killed 1 Eternal Guard. I'm not really sure. But I lose this combat. I end up making my break check, though, and we stick it out. Over here, the Beast isn't having it. These Dryad F-tards have no business messing with the awesome that is the Beast. Not only does he weather all their hatred attacks, he fires right back at them and kills 3 out of the 5 that was left. And although they do make their break check, which is friggin' phenomenal, I win this combat, and that's what you get for messing with gotta love that Beast. So, we go to bottom of 4 after movement, and there's not a whole lot. The Beast is in combat, Ashkus is in combat, and my Sorcerer Lord rallies. I know you're impressed. It's okay. It's okay. Swoon if you must. During the magic phase, I believe I get blue fire off on the remaining Rangers and kill them off, leaving the Lord all by himself, which I saw as kind of an opportunity, a hopeful one, but you'll see how that works out. With no shooting or anything else, I go into combat, and the Beast is able to easily finish off the remaining 2 Dryads, and I get some points. So, yay! I feel good about that. I got Ranger points, and I got Dryad points in bottom of 4. So, really, really cool there. But, you know, not that everything went great. Ashkus gets stabbed in the face and in the throat at the same time before he can do anything, and he dies a horrible, horrible death. But it is what it is. So, we go to top of 5 after movement, and his whole army shifts to go after the Beast. Which makes sense, because it was the Beast or the Sorcerer Lord, and the Beast can't fly. So, yep, the Wild Riders move closer. The Treekins start to go over to harass my Sorcerer Lord. The Tree Man moves over to harass the Beast, and his Lord does not join the unit of archers like I thought he was going to. He moves them back into the force in the back there, and I'm not sure if that was a mistake or if my opponent just felt sorry for me and was trying to give me some extra points. Either way, that's what he did. I kind of think that he was going easy on me, though, because he felt bad. Which, he's a really nice guy. And it was just a friendly game, but hey, I wish he hadn't. I wish he had come at me full throttle, because he's got to learn how to play this army, right? Oh, I'm sorry. The Wild Riders did charge the Beast and failed. I'm sorry, I forgot. So, yep, there's a better picture of that. And the Treekin did try to charge the Sorcerer Lord, and they failed as well. So they actually did try to put the screws to me and failed. So never mind what I said. My opponent's a total jerk. No. Kidding. During the shooting phase, his magic phase doesn't do anything. I'm able to stop it, but his shooting phase, he shoots up the Beast a whole bunch, and one slips through. So now the Beast is got the scent of blood, which is never good. With no combat or anything like that, we go to bottom of 5 after movement, and the Beast charges the Wild Riders and makes it. And that was really good, because now it was a pride thing. I really wanted to kill those Wild Riders. Meanwhile, my Sorcerer Lord just kind of moves away so that the Treekin can't charge him, and I want to try to vaporize his Lord off the table. There's a better picture of the Beast getting some vengeance on the Wild Riders. Magic is a wash, and I have no shooting, so we go straight into combat, and the Beast is able to smash the remaining 2 Wild Riders into the ground. He does 3 wounds to him, and he only saves 1 with his ward save. The 2 die, nobody breaks because they're either immune to psychology or not within 6, but I got the points for the Wild Riders, and I feel good about that. So here's top of 6 after movement, and here's where you see a little bit of a folly in my plan to go and try to take out the Elf Lord. He charges my Sorcerer Lord at a disc and makes it, needing a 9. No, I'm sorry, needing an 8. So yeah, he makes it, which hurt, and everything else turns around to try to harass the beast as much as humanly possible. Magic and shooting don't do a whole lot, so we go into combat, and he's not able to wound me. I do actually wound him 3 times, but he makes all of his saves. I'm only strength 4 at best. But yeah, my Sorcerer Lord ends up losing this combat by 1 because he charged. I roll a 9 and flee about 7 or 8 inches. I get away by a lot. It's a little humiliating to be beaten in combat by a elf lord on foot. I don't care what brand of elf he is. That was pretty embarrassing. So we go to bottom of 6 after movement, and my beast charges the archers, who put 2 more wounds on him with the stand and shoot reaction, and my Sorcerer Lord rallies and turns to face the Lord because it's like, I've got to kill him or do something or I'm screwed. There's a better picture of the beast making it into the elves before, and taking 2 wounds because of the stand and shoot. And during my magic phase, we go over here to where the Sorcerer Lord is. He gets Infernal Gateway off on his Lord. I put 3 wounds on him, and my opponent rolls 3 ones for his armor or for his ward save, and the Elf Lord dies, and that's awesome. I didn't expect to kill him. I was hoping that I could get a wound or 2 off on him, and then have Warp Flame finish him off, but it never came into effect. He rolled 3 ones for his ward save and died, and so I feel like the moral high ground is mine. I was able to kill his general. It took my entire army to do it, but damn it, I got his general. Emboldened by the fact that my magic phase was going so well, I get treason off on his archers, and that was just to help out the beast, have them fail their fear check, and then perhaps if they lose combat, they break, and then the beast can run them down. That was the hope anyway. But as you can see, hope is, it's hollow, and it was shattered pretty well. I ended up getting into combat with them. They do fail their fear check, so treason worked beautifully. But unfortunately, with all their rerolls and everything, they were able to slip the last 2 wounds in on the beast. I think it was his BSB actually that did it, and kills the beast before he can so much as roll to see how many attacks he gets. I'm sorry, Beast. He did so well this game too. He really did. I'm sorry, Beast. And I hate to do it. I hate to end the game on a low note with the death of the beast, but here it is, the end of the game. As you can see, the elves literally plucked my eyeballs out, carved out my brain, and used my skull as a wine glass. Yeah, the only thing left I have is my Sorcerer Lord. He has plenty of elves for the victory party left over, although they have no leadership now with the general dead. That's yeah. But you know what? We'll get into that in the recap in a minute, because right now it's time for a quick timeout. Token time, everybody. Tokens. Check them out. All the tokens you could need for anything that you could possibly play. Warhammer 40k, Infinity, Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Infinity, Malifaux, whatever you need tokens for, Token Gal can make the tokens. They're dirt cheap, guys. No more than $8 for a set, but they're solid gold quality. I mean, these are glass beads. They magnify the picture and the words. You've got wound counters. You've got status effects. You've got spell effects. +1 toughness, -1 strength. Whatever you need. She's got all the magic lores. She's got everything you need for any system that you play. She's got a email address you can send and be like, hey, I'm looking for this. And now she has a website. It's there at the bottom. I'm not going to bother reading it off because if you can't read, what the hell are you doing on the internet? Just seriously, though, check her out. Check out her website. Order yourself some tokens. It's totally worth it. You won't regret it. Hey guys, I know I've already talked to you about this before, but you should really check these pictures out because they were all painted, including my model, by Unleashed Wargaming. And they have their email right up there at the top of the page, and they've also got it down there. They got a YouTube channel. He's working on a website. It's not quite ready yet, but yeah, really, if you get a chance, check these guys out. If you're looking for someone to paint your stuff real good, seriously, check these guys out. Go to his, send him an email, check out his YouTube page. It's really worth your time. It's a phenomenal job. It's quick, it's painless. You don't have to worry about painting your stuff. And soon I'll be running a model that these guys painted for me, and I'm very excited about that. But check out these pictures. Give this guy an email. Check him out on YouTube. Get your models painted by him if you can. It's totally worth it. And tell him Tremendous sent you. As you guys already know, we are going to the Rock Wars GT. I will be there. So it's September 12th to the 14th. Totally excited to be going. If you're going to be there, if you just want to show up and say hey or whatever, I would love to meet you guys. I'm really enjoying doing these battle reports. I'm enjoying the comments. I'm enjoying the back and forth. And so by all means, if you're there, you want to swing by, say hey, I would love that. Maybe we get a game in. I would be thrilled to be able to do a battle report with it. But yeah, definitely. If you guys are there and you want to meet up, hey, by all means, come say hi. You'll know my models. If you're interested in going, though, if you want to check it out, I think there's still some slots open. Check it out, rockwarsgt.com. It's right there. Real easy to type in. You should be able to figure it out. But yeah, guys, come check it out. Come say hi. Love to meet you. But yeah, in the end, it was a defeat for Lord Tremendous. I ended up losing a Lady Elizabeth, Ashicus, my Warhounds, my Warriors, my Forsaken, my Knights, my Hellstriders, and the Beast. Basically, I lost everything but my Sorcerer Lord. My opponent lost his Lord, his General, his Rangers, his Dryads, and his Wild Riders. So I did put a little bit of a hurting on him, but I did not lose in this one. The main thing to take away from this battle report is Wood Elves are much better now, and do not underestimate Wild Riders. Do not underestimate them. They are amazing. A unit of 5 of them have 15 strength, 5 armor piercing, always strikes first, attacks. Plus they are fast cav. They have a 6-up ward. They are amazing. Literally amazing. So guys, gals, everything in between, really, really, if you see Wild Riders on the table, target them first. Do not let them charge you. You will lose the majority of that unit. The new Wood Elves are awesome. I gotta be honest with you. I hate Elves. Races against Elves to the end, but I hate the Wood Elves the least out of the 3 races. I think that the Wood Elves are everything that the Elves could be had they not fractioned off into High and Dark. Really impressed with this new book. The new models especially are gorgeous. I'm really looking forward to playing Wood Elves more often now too. That's going to be exciting. That's going to be a lot of fun to see. So yeah, guys, really happy with the new book. I think it's very cool. I did hesitate a little bit, which was a big mistake on my part early on. You can't do that with an elf army. That was stupid on my part. But of course, there was also, the fact that really nothing was going my way because I was playing like a bit of a putz. The Dryads making that 10-inch overrun demoralized me completely. I'd be lying to say I didn't kind of give up, but at the same time, I didn't completely give up. I was still trying. I was still playing. So I'll learn from this mistake. But overall, great game. This is still one of my favorite opponents, and I'm really looking forward to playing this army again, playing the Wood Elf army again. I'm really interested to see what he does with it, what kind of new combos come up. But it really opened my eyes to just how good the Wood Elves can be, especially with this new book, really giving them the tools, I think, to be great. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this one. It's my first new Wood Elf battle report. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, as always, if you got any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to get back to you. But as always, guys, thanks.